Good evening. This is All Sports with LD coming back at you with another YouTube post from my YouTube channel. Before I get started, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. So let's get to it. Finally, 12 years removed from the Pete Carroll era, the USC Trojans finally hire a legit college football head coach, Mr. Lincoln Riley, former coach of Oklahoma University. In 5 years at Oklahoma University, Lincoln Riley went 55 wins, 10 losses, 4 consecutive Big 12 championships. What does this mean for USC? Well, it finally gives them the legit coach they've been looking for since Pete Carroll left. Also, this puts USC back in the game in terms of recruiting. Because of this hire, they will be able to keep a lot of the California athletes in California. This also gives USC a heads up and puts them sort of in league with the rest of college football. What I mean by that is this. For many, many years, USC has always recruited the traditional pocket passer and a quarterback. Well, Lincoln Riley believes then a quarterback should be a dual threat, i.e. he coached Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield, the two quarterbacks are currently in the NFL. And it has been my belief that the rest of the college football teams had surpassed USC in this instance. Many of the college programs around the nation really started doing this at least 10 years ago, recruiting dual threat quarterbacks, while USC stayed with the traditional pocket passer. And it showed you that USC was pretty much out of touch with how college football has changed. And I think largely because of that, that's one of the reasons why they haven't been a top-rated program since Pete Carroll left. So what this does is it actually now puts USC in the playing field, getting the top recruits at every position. USC was once known as Tailback U. Well, with this hire, I think you're going to see that coming back around. Lincoln Riley is a legit head coach. He's an excellent recruiter. Matter of fact, two top, I believe they're from California, had committed to University of Oklahoma. Unfortunately, now they've changed their mind. I'm not sure if they will follow Lincoln Riley to USC, but it does change their mindset. It does make their options change in terms of we're going to play. And I have a strong indication that those players might follow him to USC. Because all USC really needed was a legit coach, because the USC in name alone can draw the top athletes. Well, what's been happening over the last few years because of Clay Helton, they have been losing top California athletes, one being C.J. Stroud, who is the starting quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He was one of the California prospects that left because he didn't want to play for Clay Helton. Many of the recruits in the last 2 to 3 years basically said they weren't playing for Clay Helton. They would rather play elsewhere. So now this gives them a leg up in the recruiting. And I think you'll see a lot of the California athletes now starting to make another decision. Now that Lincoln Riley's in town, USC will probably come in the top class this upcoming season in the fall of having the top recruits, because USC finally understood, after seeing a near empty Coliseum. I mean, as long as I can remember, even as a kid, I had never seen the Coliseum that empty on Saturdays when the USC Trojans are playing. I mean, it was unbelievable how empty that Coliseum had become, because USC were putting poor product on the field. Clay Helton, as I said all along, he could not coach this team. He did not have the coaching resume, and I don't understand why they gave him the keys to the kingdom. They never should have selected Clay Helton as their head coach. As a result, this is what has happened: mediocre and poor play. So, as a result, and you see the Coliseum was pretty much bare. So I think with this selection, it'll get the fan base hyped up for next season. You'll get the alumni that will really throw their support behind this guy, because he's a legit college coach. He knows the game of football, and he's been pretty successful at it. And so now you put him at SC, where on name alone, he can pull the top athletes around the nation, including California. So I think you'll see, probably within the next 2 years, SC is going to either be in the top 10 or top 5 and make it into the playoff. I really think this is going to energize the whole nation. I mean, not the whole nation, but the state of California and recruiting and USC. And now they're getting a legit college football head coach. And I expect his coaching staff will be superb. Anything is better than the current coaching staff that Clay Helton left behind. But I believe he's going to bring in top-notch assistants to help him resurrect this program. I'm excited. I can't wait for next fall to start to see what the product is that's put on the field for USC. And I think people are going to be very happy with this hire. So that's what I have so far. Until then, have a good one.